Hey, homeschool mom. Have you been spinning your wheels trying to figure out how you can earn income without missing a beat with your homeschool and your kids? Would you like an inside look at how to make money and lead a profitable playgroup or co op from a Christian homeschool mom? If so, then you need to join my good friend and homeschool mom coach, Marea Parson, and I on this free webinar, Profitable Playgroups. She's going to peel back the curtain on her 5-figure business that she's built while homeschooling 4 kids. I'm serious. And this webinar is free. You don't want to miss it. Come join us Friday, March 31st, 12 p.m. She's going to be getting into all the guts about how you can also build a business while homeschooling. We'll see you there.
Let's bow our heads and close our eyes. Father in heaven, we thank you so much for the blessing of just the resources that you've given us, and we would like to use them all as much as possible. And that's why we're here today. So we ask that you will bless the technology. You will bring those who are on their way and let nothing hinder them. And that you will bless Marea as she shares this awesome information and opportunity that has the potential to bless the homes of many homeschool moms. And so we ask that those who are napping stay napping, that there are no riots or anything to distract us from paying attention right now. May your angels go to the home of each mom represented here right now, and let it be peace so that each person can focus on what they need to hear that will turn around and be a blessing to their family financially and their homeschool as well. We love you. We invite your presence here. May your angels be with us and protect us. And please, again, Lord, be with us as we all utilize this technology. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, my friend. So Renee is my business bestie. God has connected us in a mighty way in every venture that I can even think of. And so I'm just excited and thankful for having this friendship that God's created. And I am so open to having more people join our team. So stay tuned for that kind of information. As you're logging in, we are putting in the chat where you're from and kind of where you are in starting your play group. So I see Christy said that she has a kids club co-op in Indiana that she's already doing. And then Kissa said that she's done similar things in her previous job, and she's participating in one now with her son, and she's also in Indiana. So Kissa and Christy, you guys are close. And then my friend Renee, she's ready to start hers. And Jennifer, she's actually one of my instructors that was working with me at Homeschool Explorers. So she was working with me there, and she's going to share a little bit more about what she's doing now a little bit later. But I wanted to go ahead and just introduce myself. Most of you all know me. I am Marea Parson, homeschool mom of 4. I started with Recess and Results. That was my play group. I turned it into Homeschool Explorers. Recess and Results is the certification. Homeschool Explorers is the name of the co-op that I created. And so you don't have to do it exactly like me. I'm here today to kind of give you some options and show you different ways that you can do your co-op or your play group. I've enrolled about 1,200 students in my classes. I've taught over 20 locations. I specialize in faith-based fitness. And for you, I want you to start thinking about what you want to specialize in your play group. And we're going to actually put that in the chat in a little while, but I want you to start thinking about that. I have earned almost $80,000 teaching recess classes only 2 to 3 days a week. So this is a very profitable way to bring in income, especially as a homeschool mom. I did it while I was pregnant, after I had my baby post-delivery, and while I'm still breastfeeding my 10-month-old. He's not even a year yet. And so I've still been able to do this while I'm homeschooling, while I'm raising my kids and having fun with them. I really, really enjoy having this play group because it's something I can do with my kids. I have a team of instructors under me, and they've been kind of coming up through my play-based fitness classes and through my co-ops and play groups. And that's kind of how this program was created, because I have a team of instructors. Some of them want to do recess and results with me, but some of them may want to do different co-ops, Spanish or sign language or dinosaurs or reading or math, or, you know, whatever God puts on your heart, whatever gifts you have. And so that's how this program was created, because I've had so many people that are coming to me kind of wanting to start a play-based group or a play group. And so I'm glad that you're here today so that we can kind of share the 5 secrets to leading a profitable play group. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. My top 5 secrets for leading a profitable play group. But before I start, I just want you to know that God has big plans for you. Those dreams that He's put inside your heart and that you think about and dream about, that was me 4 years ago. Just kind of like, you know, what am I going to do with all this stuff? You know, I'm really good at this. I feel like I'm really good at this. People are asking me for this. I want to do this. And I just had so many ideas, and just, you know, I would go places and I'd be like, oh, I could do that. You know, I could lead that. I would go to a convention or a homeschool conference or see people doing things. And I was just like, oh, I could do that, you know? And so if you're in that place where you're around people and you're like, oh, this is my audience, like I should be doing things like that. This is what our mastermind group is going to be about. You know, we're the masterminds. We're running our homeschools, we're running our businesses, we're running our families, and so God has big plans for us, and those are the kind of people that I want around me. And so I'm going to go ahead and share those secrets with you, and then I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit about our program and how you can join, and how, you know, how I can help you get started. If you have any questions while I'm talking, just kind of put them in the chat. Renee, you can let me know if there's any questions that I need to kind of touch base on. And this is going to be interactive, so you guys are going to be able to kind of comment in the chat and keep the conversation kind of going, okay? All right. So the first secret to leading a profitable play group is to know the needs of your homeschool families and how to solve that need, or how to solve that top of the mind problem. So if you've got some pencil and paper, that will be the first thing, is to know the needs of your homeschool families. Thank you. Renee's putting it in the chat too. And so for me, my playgroup started during COVID. Families wanted a place for their homeschoolers to get together and come into a group together and be able to play with their friends and see their friends and just get outside, get away from electronics, things like that. So in the chat right now, I want you to just think about, you may not have a community yet that you're thinking specifically about serving, but I want you to think about what are some problems that you see in the community around you. And it may not be a homeschool family. It could be, you know, it could be just like it could be public school kids, you know, your play group could be for public school. I specifically work with homeschoolers. But in the chat, just think about some of the needs, some of the problems that you could solve by having a play group. Let's see what you guys put in the chat. Getting away from electronics. Very good. I've got one person that's trying to get into the group. Let me check and see. All right, fitness, weight management, how to make friends. This is good. This is good. All right. And so I see Renee's thinking about how to solve problems. And that's what I'm going to need you guys to start thinking about, because people will pay for a babysitter. You know, they will pay for a babysitter, but how much? About $10 an hour, maybe 20. So in order to really have a profitable play group, I need you to put in the chat what problem you can solve. Because if you can't think of any problems that you can solve and you just want to get everybody together and watch their kids, people aren't going to pay for that. Okay, so I want you to think, a safe place for children that are shy, good, lack of diversity, unsure of activities to do with their children, good. So now you're thinking about how you can solve a problem for these parents, because people have tried to just get together and do play groups, and sometimes people come, sometimes they don't. Will they pay you for it? I don't know. Probably not. But if you can bring value, if you can solve a problem, this is the number one thing. If you can solve a problem in your play group, then people are more likely to pay you for that. All right. So keep thinking about that. What what are the needs of the community, the homeschool family around you, and how can you solve that problem? All right. Moving on to number 2. You need to know how to show value around the importance of play. And so some of you guys are putting some things in the chat about, getting outside, a safe place for kids who are shy, things like making friends, things like that. And so, what I'll be able to do with you is during our training, we're going to talk about the importance of play. What is play? There's a difference between sports and then self guided play for children. And so, we're going to be talking a little bit more about what play really is. It has to have an element of creativity. The kids kind of make up their own rules. Adults need to back up sometimes. So the goal for us is to be able to create a safe space where kids can learn to play without us intervening all the time, without us giving them instructions, without us having to say, here, do this. And for your kid to not be not always coming to you and saying, I'm bored, what can I do? But to be self-motivated and to have things that they can do. And so we're going to talk about that, how we can slowly give them things to do, but we need to back away and let them kind of continue doing it and work out little problems by themselves. And then how we can encourage that. Hey, I saw you playing really nicely with this kid. Can you do this also? So I'm going to be giving you tips on how to show the value and the importance of play. I looked at a study, and guess how many minutes in the chat? I want you to write how many minutes the average kid plays outside today. Put a number in the chat, everybody. How many minutes a day? Renee said 10 minutes a day. Give me another. Christy said 5 to 10 minutes a day. How many minutes do you think a kid plays outside a day, an average kid? I see 5 minutes. I see 5 to 10. Anybody else have anything? Okay, I'm going to give you a hint. It's lower. It's lower. It's 4 to 7 minutes a day. Kids are spending and I mean, that's enough to just, like run to the mailbox and, come back. Like that is it in this study. And so kids need at least the study. Are you asking about the study, Renee? Okay. Yeah, they can't even play a game. I know in that amount of time. So if we can give kids the opportunity to learn what to do and be self-motivated to play, they'll want to spend more time outside. My kids are outside right now. I kind of spent some time with them. I was like, what do you guys want to do? I'm on my call, and we'll talk more about, how to parent your kids so that you can run your business. But they're outside. They've got, they're working on the garden. They're eating ice cream and they're playing. And my mom's actually here too, hanging out with them. But some of you guys have heard about the 1,000 hours outside. So those are some challenges that you could do with your group too. I know Christy said that she's doing that with her homeschool group. So that's something we'll talk about in our group, is how to show the value around the importance of play. And so that way, again, parents will be willing to pay you so your play group can be profitable. All right, number 3, moving on. You need to know how to manage your children. Okay. So, yeah, my daughter just yesterday, we were doing a reading group and she kind of wanted my attention and, started whining and just things like that. And so we're going to talk about how to manage your kids so that when you're running your play group, you can focus on the kids in the group, and even you can pay your kids to help you. If they're older, we'll talk about how you can get them on your payroll and get them motivated to help you, giving them leadership roles, spending that extra time with them before and after, things like that. What to say to them so that, it can be a family business. And so a lot of you guys maybe have tried to do things like that and you're just like, oh, my kid is too clingy, I can't do it, especially if they're younger. But we'll talk about that and give you some strategies on how to manage your children. All right, let's go to number 4 is going to be that you need to be able to manage a large group of children, okay, with confidence. And so, what are you going to do if you have a kid that starts crying? What are you going to do if you had a kid that mom needs a break and she brings the kid to your play group, but the kid won't let go of mom? What are you going to do with that kid? What are you going to say to that mom? You don't want to send the kid back home with her. That's why she brought the kid to you, because she needs some help. She needs some answers. And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what to do in those types of situations to help with transitions, especially with homeschool kids and preschoolers. We're going to talk about what you can say to the parent to set up a plan on how to transition smoothly. We're going to talk about behavior issues. What are you going to do when you have this disrespectful kid that's cursing kids out in your class at 4? What are you going to say to this kid? You don't want to send them home. You know, that's why the parent is sending them to you, so that they can learn how to behave better. And so sometimes that scares us, like, oh my goodness, but don't be scared. I've had it, I've had kids that have come to my class. I've had a 4-year-old that's come to my class and cursed people out. I have had it. And that same kid, a month later, ended up being my recess leader, because we worked through a process. We have a plan. We have a behavior plan for children like that who are seeking kind of negative attention, but we have a way to give them the positive attention that they need. So you need to know how to manage those children. And then the last thing, and I'm going to bring on Jennifer, but the last thing and the biggest thing that we need to know to make your playgroup profitable, to make it stand out, to make people just like, oh, this is really where I want my kids to go, is to be able to use teachable moments during your recess class to teach life skills. Okay, so through play, we want to teach these life skills. And that kind of goes back to the value of play. It can't be replicated. There's no better place for kids to learn social skills than play. And so that's what our program is going to be about. I will be showing you how to use those teachable moments. For example, I had a game of tug of war going on at recess the other day, and it wasn't fair. The teams were lopsided. I had a group of 4 big boys, and I had these girls, and maybe about, I think it was 5, because they were trying to make it fair, but it still wasn't fair. And I could see it. The older boys could see it, but they wanted to win. And so the younger kids were just kind of like, okay, oblivious. And they lost, and then they started getting discouraged. And so I did intervene with just, one of the older kids. And I said, how can we make this fair? And that was all that I said. And I let them start working on it and trying to figure out how they could make it fair. Even if there's 3 big boys, let's put 2 little kids over here for every big boy, something like that. So we started talking about strategies, but that's the character traits that we'll be working on, like leadership, fairness, honesty, empathy, servanthood, things like that. I will be teaching you how to use those character traits to build life skills. And so that's the most important thing that you want to do. That's what people send their kids to me for play for at Homeschool Explorers, any of my play groups, my recess classes. Those are the takeaways that people see. I mean, they love the fitness. They love that their kids are getting out there, that they're running and moving and jumping, but they can do that at basketball practice. But is the basketball coach going to really help build leadership skills? Is the basketball coach really going to focus on social skills and godly character and things like that? And all our playgroups don't have to be faith-based, but that's what I specialize in. Okay, so before I talk to you a little bit about our program, I have Jennifer who's here. And Jennifer, you can unmute yourself, and she's just going to share a little bit. She started with me. I just want you to introduce yourself and kind of share your journey, where you started and where you are now.
Okay, do you need the video on? Okay, can you hear me? Oh, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry. Okay. All right.
Yep.
So, yep. So I'm Jennifer. We met about 4 years ago, I think now. And It was at a co-op, well, and at a ASL get together. So, but yeah, so I got to know you better there, and I think it froze. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah,
You're
I
still good.
can hear you.
Okay. So yeah, got to know you better, and definitely could see like just your light shining, right, and just how you were putting God first, and scripture even through with the kids, and made it so fun, because I had Jalen and my daughter starting in your homeschool explorer class, and just I could see the change in her, and I wanted to definitely learn, what is going, like, how is this, happening. I knew like a little bit from watching on social media and stuff, but and seeing how she came home and just, I mean, just grew so much in confidence, and oh, I loved it. And she would be so excited to go. She had her bag packed, like she would never get ready for anything, but for your class, she was go. It was awesome to see. So yeah, definitely wanted, I knew that, wanted to learn more about how you're doing this, and got part of, when you had that position available for recess leader, jumped on that, and God definitely was like, just using you and helping me grow through you, and your stuff is just so cool. So yeah, that was a little bit about how met you and got involved in your program. So
Good, thank you. Will you share, Jennifer, just maybe, um, so tell us what you're doing now, kind of after you left our program, kind of how that conspired for you at your church, and kind of what you're doing now.
well, even back, so in South, so now I'm in New Orleans, Louisiana, but before leaving, we were doing a lot, even in the church, back in South Carolina, and everything I was learning from recess and just bringing it over for. So we had a youth program started at our church. I mean, it was even pouring over into that, and then the children's church. So I was picking everything I was learning from you, and just was able to take it to the church. And then now, well, now we're in New Orleans doing, just all kind of outreaches, and I mean throughout the whole week. But so it's still homeschooling. There's a homeschool community here, but it's even needed here, and like what we're doing with the kids, even with the outreaches to, like, we do like adopt a block, where we go to these communities and there's kids there, and they're just, getting love on them, getting to know them. But we're, even what I learned from you, bringing that in, having fun, playing games with them right there. So, yeah.
Very good, very good. And what would you say to someone who's thinking about maybe working with us?
Well, there is no better person to learn from. I mean, you have the experience, you know how to handle, just like you were saying, like behavioral issues. Like, what do you say? You helped me with that so many times. Even just, yeah, how to, with the kids that are getting dropped off and they're shy, they don't know, but how you handle just, almost just every situation. I was able to come to you, or you were to show me. So that you can't put a price on that. Like, and then how it's just went over into my kids and here at home, and just everywhere. So it's a lifestyle. It's not just in the class or whatever you're trying to do. It's at home. I mean, everywhere. So
Thank you, Jennifer, for sharing. Jennifer came in just as quiet, and she left just as loud for Jesus. And I just love it. It was just a true testament to how God's using this and using my gifts to pour into other people. And that's what we want to do. That's what we want to do, is we pour into other people. All right, I have one more testimonial. She wasn't able to be here today. One of my instructors who started her own play group. Her name is Crystal, and she's going to introduce herself to you guys, and she's going to give you some more tips that you can kind of follow. So I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Here to share some words and to just encourage any one of you who Chandler. Hi everyone, my name is Crystal Chandler, Director of Launch Prep Homeschool Hub, right here in Moncks Corner. Here to share some words and to just encourage any one of you who've been thinking about starting a co-op or small group and working with Marea. I really believe that it is a great idea. Number one, like I said, my name is Crystal, and about a year ago, I met Marea through social media. I saw her page called Homeschool Explorers, and I've been watching and looking for some place for my two boys to really just have a place to socialize and to get together with other friends, homeschooling friends. We'd been searching for that for a while, and so I landed on her page, found out what they were doing, and I really, really thought it was wonderful. And so after dropping them off for a while, I started talking to Marea about perhaps having something closer to where I live, which is not too far from Somerville, but it was I just figured, I think there's a lot of families that would want to have a program like the one that she started. I thought maybe it would be nice to have it in Monk's Corner. And we began to talk, and she said, hey, I would love to do that. Would you be interested in helping me, or would you be interested in starting that with me? And I just leaped. I just said, yeah. And the number one reason why I don't know, first of all, I felt an instant connection. I just felt like she was someone that I wanted in my life, because here she was, a mom, homeschooling mom, an entrepreneurial homeschooling mom, which is, very much so, just like myself. And so I just felt like just connecting with her was a good fit for me. And my story, a little bit of my story extends back to before the pandemic, when I started homeschooling. When the pandemic hit, a lot of people who were in school, in public school, we all had to go to virtual learning. But there were a lot of my friends, a lot of family members who did not want that. They didn't want their kids at home. They didn't know how to do that and how to set it up. And so I opened my home to anyone who would want to come. I opened a little business, Launch Prep. At the time, it was just Launch Prep, to allow homeschooling or virtual learning families to drop their children off, and I would just watch them and help encourage and coach them through the day in their learning. And so that was the beginning. That's the beginning of my story. But of course, after the pandemic waned, that service was no longer needed because children went back to school. But then I remained in homeschool. Like, I kept my children home, and we did homeschooling, traditional homeschooling. And so we felt like we still had that need to be a part of a community. Working with Marea just allowed me to not only start something or continue with that idea, but it allowed me to really branch out and pick up tools and pick up wisdom on how to run, how to conduct a business like that, how to conduct a service where, not only are my children benefiting, but other people in the community are benefiting. I'm making some money on the side, and, we're just really staying connected and staying social. I wanted my children to stay social. Yeah, that's how my journey began. And so I'm really grateful for having that start with Marea. So my top 3 class management strategies, I'm reading the questions that she sent me. I would have to say, number 1, arrive early. If you're thinking about doing, a co-op, if you're thinking about running a program like this, arrive early. Don't get there minutes before your parents and families and the other kids are coming there. You need time to just really get your thoughts together. You need time to prepare yourself and organize any activities that you've already planned. Number 2, don't do it alone. Do not try and do this alone. Get a friend or meet a mom. Reach out and ask moms who may be interested but not fully wanting to do this, themselves, but maybe just want to help. Asks, a mom who is interested in something like that for their child, and they wouldn't mind staying and helping you. So just ask someone, don't do it alone. And number 3, I would say, plan your activities around a theme, like a monthly activity around a theme. So that way you're not trying to come up with like random, activities just here and there. You want to be able to be effective in what you're teaching, because you do have an opportunity to teach something. I know Marea is very biblical based, which we love that. We really, really love that. And so at Launch Prep, we teach a lot about like character building, and we teach about social emotional learning. And it's really, really wonderful that we can do that. We work on those team building skills and things like that. And so we work around these themes each month. So I'm not trying to create something each week. Like, oh, what are we going to do each week? Well, what is the theme for the month? And we stick to that theme and find the activities that is connected to the theme. And then we renew the theme each month. So anyway, those are my 3 class management strategies. Money. So, right now we're just starting. We have branched out to become Launch Prep. And so, like I said, I worked directly with Marea as Monk's Corner Homeschool Recess, which was like a sister company or sister branch of Homeschool Explorers. And so once I branched out on my own, I was able to just keep a lot of the same, my pricing. I was able to go ahead and move into, you just keep even that price range, which was comfortable for the parents, $25 per student. And I think that's a really good price. And depending on where you are, it just has to be comfortable, for your family. So I feel like the money that I'm making is substantial for me. And so then create your goal. What do you want to make? And then you adjust it for the families that you serve and say, this is my price and that's how much you want to make. So let me see here. Lastly, whoever you are, if you're interested in working with Marea, I have to say, go ahead. Go ahead and do it. Take a leap of faith. First of all, understand that she's a woman of God. She's a woman of her word. She's on task. She's very business oriented and organized, and she's willing to help you to achieve your personal goals. And so it's been really a pleasure working with her and even, connecting with her. So just, get to know her, go through with the program, go through with what she's offering, because I really, really believe that you are going to benefit. You're going to benefit. You're going to gain a better understanding of what you're capable of doing, and you're going to just get a better perspective. And so, and even as being a mom, I think we all need something else besides the mommy role, because you need to understand that your abilities are beyond the home, beyond the kitchen and the cleaning and everything else that comes to do with homeschooling and mommying. I think it is great to see, and it builds your confidence to see that you're able to manage something else a little bit beyond your own personal home, your life and your family. So go ahead, do it. And I hope that was helpful for you, and God bless on your new journey if you decided to go ahead and go through with it. God bless.
All right. Let's see. How do I stop the broadcast? All right. Can everybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Can everybody hear me?
We can hear you.
All right, perfect. Okay, so in the comments right now, I want you to just write down one thing that you took away from what Jennifer was saying, something that stood out to you from what Crystal said. Just one takeaway from those 2 conversations that really kind of struck a nerve or said, oh, okay, that sounds good. Let's see what everyone took away from those conversations. All right, so Christy said doing a theme for the month instead of planning different things each week. Very good, very good. Yes. So that definitely helps make things easier, and we will have those themes for you. We will have those activities for you. And like I said, we want to make sure that we are teaching those life skills and character traits during those themes. Good. Thank you, Christy, for sharing. Kristen said, I see how it would meet both my needs as a homeschooling mom and the need in my community for a play group for any inner city children. Very good. So yes, meeting that need. Kristen, I know you came on a little bit late. I'll just kind of recap those 5 secrets to leading a profitable play group. Number 1 was that you know the needs of your homeschool community. And so that's exactly what you're talking about, and solving that need, solving that top of the mind problem. Number 2 was that you know how to show the value around the importance of play. Number 3 was that you know how to manage your children so that you can focus on leading the group. Number 4 was that you know how to manage a large group. And Renee, maybe if you can put these in here. Yep, she's putting it in right now. And then number 5 was that you're able to take those teachable moments, those everyday teachable moments through play, and teach those life skills. That is the most critical part of it, because like I said, people will pay for babysitting, but they're not going to pay a lot. So we've got to show the value. We've got to teach those life skills during our play groups, and there's no better place to do it. And then Renee said, setting a financial goal and going for it within connection with how to serve the families in our area. Good. So we'll talk about pricing for your classes. The price that I have right now for my Homeschool Explorers class, it was already kind of set. And so I was there for a year, and then I went up a little bit on my prices. Like their prices that they had were a little bit too low for me, what they were charging, but I knew I couldn't just jump in and change the price. And so that's something we'll talk about. If you go into a program and there's already a price set, you don't want to just jump it up because that's what you want. I've slowly over the last 3 years increase the price, $2, and then $2.50 actually, $3 another year. And so I've moved the price up. I've started memberships. They just had a drop off where I never knew who was coming. I've added a membership so I have a constant stream of income coming in. And so we'll talk about income. We'll talk about the expenses. I have to rent that location. So we'll talk about, how much comes out of that and how you still want to profit. So if you want to make $100 a day from your play group, what do you need to charge? How many kids do you need there? Can you hire help so that you can get more kids? Do you have a parent or a mom who wants to volunteer? Maybe their kid can come for free. Now you have 2 adults. And so instead of 15-1, which is my ratio suggestion for elementary age, 15-1, now you can have 30 kids. You let her kids come for free and you're doubling your income. So little things like that, I can help you with kind of talking about how to bring in more people, how to bring in more kids. So let's go over kind of what's all included in our Profitable Playgroup package. And I'm going to share my screen again so that you guys can see this. And I'm going to email all of this to you at the end after everything's over. I'm going to send you this in an email. So you can take notes if you'd like to, but I'm going to send it to you. All right. Renee, can you let me know if you guys can see my screen?
Sure can.
All right. So here's what's included. Yes, you can see you at the bottom too.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to, all right. Okay. We're going to start with a Profitable Play Group roadmap session with me. And so as soon as you,
screen, Maria.
What'd you say?
My picture's still blocking the bottom of the screen.
Okay, there we go. How's that?
You're good now.
Good. Okay. All right. And so as soon as you join today, I'm going to let you schedule your blueprint roadmap session with me. And so we're going to get on our call for 1 hour and just talk about your business ideas and just get it all out and see what the future holds. If you'd like for somebody to look at that, somebody to talk to about that, who's done it before, who knows what's possible, who can see the value, can see the vision, then that's what we're going to do. And that's valued at $125. And yeah, we're just going to kind of go through, let you do a brain dump, all of your ideas, everything that you see possible. I just remember this was just such a great time for me to be able to dump out all my ideas. And now God's using them all. I mean, He's using my college degree, which I thought I'd never use. I did sports medicine. I just thought, oh, I'm never going to use that, because now I'm doing recess. But He's used that because I do personal training. I have a group for homeschool moms now. And then I'm using my teaching. I was in a public school for a while, and I'm using that to kind of help with homeschool mom planning. Like, there's so many gifts and talents that God has given you guys, and we just want to put it all in and use all of it. Like, I am wore out mentally at the end of the day, but I am so satisfied with what God's calling me to do and all that He's leading me to do. And I just love it. So we want to get there to where we feel completely satisfied. So you've got that profitable playgroup roadmap. Then we have group mentoring calls with me weekly. I will be sharing with you teaching strategies and techniques for your playgroup. I will be training you on how to find the teachable moments in child-directed play for optimal character development. And if your playgroup is faith-based, then we'll do the Christian character development. And remember, I said that is the most important because we're building these leaders, and the parents will be able to see the growth as we're doing that in our playgroup and keep sending them back. I'll be talking to you about strategies for addressing behavioral and academic challenges in your playgroup. If you have, kids with autism, kids in wheelchairs, kids who can't read, things like that, I can talk with you about how to address those and strategies for that. How to design lesson plans that promote character development, individualized advice and feedback on your best strategies for your playgroup success. I will also be talking to you about class management strategies so that you can easily and quickly create your playgroups and deliver maximum results and experiences to your clients with minimum interruptions and distractions. Okay, so you're not going to have to research this. You're not going to have to do a lot of looking around and trying to figure out how to do this. I'm going to just give it to you, the quickest strategies, so that you can kind of speed this up. And then finally, how to create a schedule in your curriculum that meets the needs of your homeschool families. I'll also talk to you about how to choose a location, how to hire your kids, costs and expenses, and where to source tools and equipment, how to get a clear concise themes and topics. We talked about that for the month, and your lessons. And so this is valued, these group memberships, at $2,000, okay? You're also going to get one-on-one mindset coaching with Renee. This is going to be monthly. And so Renee really specializes in encouragement and helping you focus. And so she'll be doing these 30-minute sessions with you monthly, where she's going to help you kind of eliminate the overwhelm and all the distractions and kind of focus, uncover if you have any internal beliefs or scripts that are holding you back or keeping you from getting started. Maybe you've tried to get started with this before and you're like, I don't know, I've already tried this before. I've already tried to get some help. Okay, not only are we going to help you get started, but we're also going to talk to you kind of about why haven't you been able to get started? Like, what's holding you back? What's slowing you down? Do you feel valuable to be paid a worthy paycheck? And so she's going to be talking to you about that, fears, doubts, insecurities. She's going to talk to you about master your success mindset and hold you accountable, and so much more. And that is valued at $1,000. Next, we're going to offer you an exclusive access to our private Profitable Playgroup Mastermind chat group. And this is where the magic happens. This is where we can come together in between our calls, in between our coaching, after a class, and say, oh, all the 4-year-olds were crying today. What do I do? Or I had two kids. Oh, here's mine. I had 2 kids today that were fighting and one left with a black eye. What should I say before I call this mom? And we can get in that chat group. I can give you a script. I can give you a behavior plan so that you know what to say, so that we can make a plan so that this kid can come back and we can restore them. I have a whole system of how to restore children who've had behavior issues and things like that. And so this is priceless. I couldn't even put a price on that because it is priceless to be able to have this type of group. And so as soon as you join today, you get immediate access into that group, and I already have an assignment for you to get started. And that's going to be the Find Time and Get More Done online course. And so if you want to start working on this business, you are going to have to know how to manage your household, manage your homeschool, get your children in order so that you'll have time to build your business. And so a lot of people want to jump in and get a business going, but they don't have their homeschool schedule. They don't know what they're going to have for dinner, or they don't have any support, or they don't have childcare, or, they're not spending time with God. So this Find Time, Get More Done online course, I've done it before as a free challenge. I don't know if some of you guys got to do it with me. It is a great time to do a refresher. And so that comes along with joining our course. And that course is valued at $200. You get it as soon as you join. You can start on it today. Challenge number 1, today you can start getting your schedule in line so that when we meet in 2 weeks, our start date is going to be April the 16th, 2 weeks from now. Give me the date again, Renee. 2 weeks from now, whatever that is. I think it's April 16th. Say it again.
I thought it was the 13th. I'll double check.
Okay. All right. So 2 weeks from now, whatever that is, you'll already have some of this stuff done. You also get access to my Homeschool Revival Enterprise. And so first we need to get your homeschooling everything in order. And then we're also going to get your business in order. This is another course that I have that you'll have access to. Also done for you co-op schedule. I already have a 2-hour form that you can follow. You can plug in, your lesson where I have my Bible lesson. You can plug in your second theme where I have my fitness classes. I have the 2-hour and the 4-hour class options already lined up for you. A lot of people are like, well, what do you guys do for 4 hours and that kids just want to play? Well, the trick is I have to kind of change it and keep things going. They're still playing, but we may move locations, or we may kind of change up the type of play that we're doing. And so I have that schedule already created for you that I can give you, that you can use as a template. And of course, you can try your own thing. What you don't want to do is just say, okay, we're going to get together and play for 2 hours. Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay. You're going to have kids fighting. You're going to have it's not going to work. Okay. So you've got to have a plan for the kids so that you keep them occupied and you kind of have them wanting to come back for more. I can also help you with your business card templates, your social media templates. I've got those flyers. Your t-shirt, your little play group can have t-shirts, or maybe your staff, you want t-shirts for them. And of course, we're going to help you pick a name for your play group. I'm so excited about that part. That's always fun. And the value for this is $200. So the total value is about $3,000 plus, but I'm not going to charge you that. Okay. I know you guys are homeschool moms and you might have to run this number by the hubby. So I was there getting started. And so I know that I want you guys to be able to afford this. And so although it's worth over $3,000, I want to give it to you guys for $249. And that's a 5-week program. So we will meet weekly for 5 weeks to help you get started. If you join today, you can save $51, and you can join for $198. And so that would mean that you put the $99 today, and then next week you would pay another $99. And this offer actually ends on Sunday, but we're going to go ahead and share this link in the group. It's right here. You guys can't click on it, but Renee's going to share the link right now. You can just click that link, scroll down, and you'll see Profitable Playgroups, and you can put your $99 down right now. And like I said, we'll email you guys this information after the call. And then I have also, I'm going to go ahead and close my screen, stop, and ask if there are any questions. Any questions? Do we have any questions? You can put them in the chat if you have any questions. Friday, okay, so it's going to be a Thursday. So yes, it would be the 13th. It's going to be Thursday, April the 13th at 6:30 will be our first session. Very good. Very good. All right. So I'm not seeing any questions. So that must mean that I answered everybody's questions. Or are you still typing? Raise your hand if you have a question and you're typing. And to raise your hand if you have a question, you can do the reactions. All right. Regina has a question. You can unmute yourself, Regina.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Good morning.
Good
Oh,
morning.
it's morning where I am. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's actually 1
Um,
o'clock here.
I missed most of it. So when would I get the recording and could I, would I be able to listen to it before the end of the day? And
Yes, we'll have those out by the end of the day. Yep, we will email that to you.
okay, wonderful. So far it sounds good. I'm actually ready to go. Oh, I have another question. My vision and goal is more for young adults. Would it apply in that regard as well?
Definitely. Yes, 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 yes.
All right, wonderful.
Yep.
Thank you so
You can do
much.
this with any age group. And I would love to see a play group for seniors. Who would want to do a play group with senior citizens or at a group home? Like that
Ooh,
would be amazing,
I like.
right? Yeah. So this is for any age to have this play group. Play is so healing. It's so good. I mean, I need a play group for me, like for moms. So yes, any age group. You should have less behavior issues though, hopefully, Regina. All right. Any other questions? Yes, Renee loves family play. Yep, that's a good one. A family play group would be awesome. All right, ladies. Well, I'm going to let you guys go if I don't have any other questions. Please let me know. Oh, I did want to say if you really want to do this, we really want to help you. Okay. This is God's already let me know that there are going to be people he's going to send to me that need what I have to offer. And so if this is you, but you can't see how this can happen right now, book a call with me and let's kind of talk about how we can make it happen. Let's talk about, other options that may be available. And so, let's see who has, Renee, can you put that book me? Yes. Okay. So if you really want to work, yes, you can do a clarity call with me. Renee just put that in the comments. And yeah. All right. So I've got one more question. Great question from Tanya. She talked about burnout is real. How do you address this from the outset? So we will definitely talk about burnout because, like you said, it is very real. But usually burnout happens because we're going against God's will. Um, we're we're pushing harder than He's intended for us to push, or we're not focusing on taking care of ourselves and doing the things that we need to do to kind of fill that cup. And so, in my fine time, get things done, I will be talking about how to kind of fill that cup and how to renew those relationships with your kids and with yourself. And we'll be talking about that because, yes, burnout is a real thing. And for me, I'm just going to give you one huge game changer, life changer that helped me with burnout was I have a quiet time every day with my kids for 2.5 hours and we schedule that. They know every day, 2.5 hours. They're in their room. They can take a nap. They can play quietly. The baby's with me, but actually, right now, my kids they'll help with the baby so they can get extra electronics time. And so that's just one way that I have been able to avoid burnout, but I have plenty of other tips to help you. But yeah, it is real. It is new. I mean, it's not new. It's not a new thing under the sun. We have the support. You'll be able to come into the group. We'll be able to talk about it and give you some suggestions for healing with that. This is why starting something like this can be so scary. Yeah. Yeah, it can. It can be scary, but it can also be very, very rewarding to know the impact that you're making and the lives that you're changing. And like I said, I'm exhausted every day. Like I didn't even hear my husband get up and go to work this morning. He left at 5. So I was sleeping pretty heavy, but getting ready for this, I was so excited. I was up. Me and Renee were up last night, like 2 o'clock, just kind of getting things ready. So yeah, I'm excited about it. So any other questions? Any other questions? And Renee said, yes, we'll have reset, refocus times. We already have a support group. Let me go ahead and mention that too. We have a support group for homeschool moms called the Teachers Lounge, where we do pray and plan together every Sunday. And so you guys are actually, Renee, can we drop that link? Actually, it's bit.ly / homeschool teachers lounge. You guys are welcome to come check that out on Sunday too. And that is our support group. Let me turn my camera back on. That is our support group where we get together and we plan and we pray. We plan our homeschool schedule for the week. So you will also have a discounted rate access to that. Actually, it's Homeschool Teachers Lounge, Renee. Let me see if I can get the right one. Add homeschool in front of that. I'm going to put that in there because you guys can bit.ly/homeschool teachers lounge. All right, I think that's it. Yeah. So click on that right now and that'll save that to your browser. And you guys are welcome to check that out for free. You can come as a guest for free your first visit. You'll also get a Christ-centered mission vision course that we have if you want to join that Teachers Lounge, or if you just want to come as a guest, you get the course for free. And so who is that? Tanya? Am I saying your name right? Or Tanya? Is it A or Ah?
Tanya.
Okay, Tanya. Okay. So starting with a Christ-centered homeschool mission and vision is also a great way to nip that overwhelm in the bud, because if you fail to plan, you're planning to what? Anybody in the comments? If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Yes. And so if you have not written out your homeschool mission and vision and looking ahead at what God's called you to do with your homeschool and how He can use your homeschool to grow you and build you and connect you, overwhelm is inevitable. Okay, so we will pray with you about that. We've already got it set up on how to seek God for that guidance, and that's how Renee and I met. And we were like, there's got to be other homeschool moms who are stressed out because they don't have a vision of what God's called them to do. And I'm going to let you guys go because I do have another call, but I just wanted to share. So last week we just didn't get as much done as I would have liked to. But on Sunday, my son, so one of our homeschool goals is that my son would like to be a worship leader. That's one of his spiritual goals, and we'll talk about spiritual goals during our time in the Teachers Lounge. But that's one of his spiritual goals is to, so let me tell you my homeschool mission first. Goodness, we're getting all into a whole different subject. So my mission for my homeschool is to build bold believers, okay? Build bold believers who will bring hope to a world that is lost. So our world is going in this downward spiral, and God's called me specifically to build up my children and anybody else who I'm in contact with. So that's all these kids that are coming to me at Homeschool Explorers. That's all of you guys who are coming to me. Anybody that I touch, that's what He's called me to bring. And so building up bold believers who will bring hope to a world that is lost. And so we're doing this through Bible study, learning God's word. We have a JBQ that we're doing. They're memorizing these scriptures and we're doing games and learning it, but learning God's word and sharing God's word. And so that is my mission. That is my purpose for our homeschool. And some days I want us to finish that math. I want him to finish that writing. And he did not do that last week. We struggled with writing. He handed me a paper and it looked like kindergarten work. And I thought, okay, like words were misspelled. His letters were just huge. And I was just like, okay, you got to redo this, buddy. And he was just frustrated because he was trying to do it quickly so he could get on electronics. And so I was frustrated, like, why would you give me this? Like, we're going to sixth grade. I need you to start giving me sixth grade work. This looks like kindergarten work. And we were just kind of going back and forth because, of course, he did it just so he could get what he wanted. And I was like, no, it's not going to work. Do it again. Anyway, so by the end of the week, he goes to church. He has piano lessons and he plays his song Champion. He's a gifted piano player, plays by ear, teaches himself. He plays his song Champion, and there's a little girl that's singing with him, and she's off key and not the greatest voice, but she is a worshiper, loves to sing, needs lots of training. But anyway, he played for her and she was going too fast and just offbeat and everything. I'll share the video with you guys. I have it. And he was able to keep it up and he was able to just learn what it's going to take for him to be a worship leader. And I was just like, this was a win. This was a big win. Like, this is our mission. This is what he's been called to do, regardless of if he wrote that paper right. So all of that to say, get your homeschool mission, your homeschool vision, go to that link. There's a course, free course. Renee's already done that. Yes, that was a huge win. So just little things like that we'll be able to focus on instead of the overwhelm of he did not finish his paper this week and had to redo it. So I'm here to help you guys with that overwhelm too. Yeah, a group is the best way. So we are homeschooling and doing life together. And, sometimes you just can't talk to hubby about the business and everything that you want to do because he doesn't understand. My husband's just like, okay, I'd like for you to bring in some extra money and cover the groceries. That's all he kind of is okay with. But, he knows that I'm doing a lot and I'd like to retire him so he doesn't have to work 14-hour days. But yeah, I'm just kind of talking because you guys are listening. So I'm gonna get off here. I could talk about the Lord and the goodness of him all day. Any other questions? All right, spoke directly to you just now. All right, good, Tanya. Very good. I felt like I needed to share that. Okay, bye. I will see you guys in the group. Sign up, join me. Let's go. I'm ready. All right, I'm going to end this. Thank you guys for coming. See you later. See you later. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, let's stop the record.
You did so great.